So yesterday I put on my community tab on this channel asking you guys for hot takes or you guys' opinions about Arsenal for me to react to in a video, and I'm going to keep doing this here and there, so just be sure to keep a lookout for my community tab if you guys have something you want to put in for the next video. But we have some juicy stuff and I want to get straight into it. The first one is from Mushroom Mayhem saying that Saka will be the next Thierry Henry, possibly even better. And at first you kind of look at this like that's a bit extreme, but when you look at it in the whole, right, Saka is just 23 years old. It's not unrealistic for him to be the next Thierry Henry. I'm assuming you mean what he means to Arsenal and how good he is as a player. Now Thierry Henry, I mean, don't even have to speak about him, the greatest Arsenal player ever. Saka definitely has the potential if his trajectory can keep doing this and he can keep injury free and he can keep progressing season after season. It's not unfathomable that even in a couple of seasons he might be at Thierry Henry's level. Saka is outstanding, his numbers are superb, what he means to this club is amazing, and if he can win a Premier League trophy, that will be a huge push to him equaling Thierry Henry, in my opinion at least. It's a long time ahead still. I think Saka needs a good 6-7 more years at this level to be Thierry Henry's level. But at first glance of this opinion, you're kind of thinking, nah, it's a bit crazy. But if you think about it in any sort of depth, there is kind of validity to that. Of course, it is about him being injury free, keeping improving, and not staying at his level right now. Then by all means, he could be, if not better than Thierry Henry. The next one is from Zaim Chim. I don't really know how to pronounce that. My apologies. Saying that we should give up on the league and focus on the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, and the Champions League. And at first I'm thinking, no, right, I can't give up on the league. We need to win the Premier League. But at the end of the day, I think the most important thing this season is to win a trophy, preferably not the Carabao Cup, preferably an FA Cup or a Champions League, and maybe at least be competitive in the league. Now I don't think we should give up on the league. I think we should still be as competitive as possible because you never know what could happen. But with the league looking a little bit unlikely right now, I don't think it's the worst of ideas to focus on the Champions League, to focus on the Carabao Cup, to have an eye on the FA Cup. Now I still think we should keep an eye on the league and we should still push every game possible. But as far as giving up on the league, I think it's a little bit too early. But should we shift more of our focus to the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, and the Champions League? Probably yes, I would say so. We're 9 points behind Liverpool right now. Arne Slot's team is looking amazing. It's going to be very difficult to bridge that gap, but as long as we can keep performing in the league, anything is possible. But should we focus a little bit more on the other stuff? I would say so, yes. The next one is from Michael Gary saying, honestly, we won't win the league this season. And why? Well, because we need a prolific striker who can at least get 45 goals a season in all competitions, of course, and that he insists we go for Viktor Jorkadic, not Isaac, not Osimhen, Jorkadic. Now, here's the thing. Do we need a prolific striker? That would be nice. Jorkadic, I think, would be an amazing player for Arsenal. I don't think we can get him in January. I don't think that's possible at all. I don't think Isaac we can get in January. Heck, I don't even think Osimhen we can get in January, being that he's on loan at Galatasaray. I don't think we can really get ourselves a prolific striker in January, outside of the lesser-known guys like Retegi from Atalanta. And to be honest, I'm not all that in love with the idea of Retegi joining Arsenal. Do we give Viktor Jorkadic? Even if we could get him in January, I don't know if he's the perfect sign-in for Arsenal. Here's the issue. Getting a prolific striker ticks the box externally. Right, we got ourselves a prolific striker. He's going to be very good in taking his chances. And that's Arsenal's biggest problem right now, is that we haven't got a striker that can take his chances when they're there. But when you look at it statistically, Arsenal aren't really struggling with that as far as that goes. As far as finishing chances, Kai Havertz, I know off the eye test it feels a lot different, but as far as finishing chances, Kai Havertz is only 0.5 behind his XG right now in the Premier League, and he's 0.3 ahead in his XG in the Champions League. Kai Havertz isn't necessarily missing a whole bunch of chances. What Kai Havertz brings is really important: his off-the-ball work, his passing, his link-up play, his defensive work. I don't think Jorkadic can match Kai Havertz in the passing or the defensive work departments, and I don't even know if Jorkadic can match Kai Havertz as far as winning headers are concerned. Now, do I think Arsenal should not go for a prolific striker? Well, in a perfect world, I would love Viktor Jorkadic, but I don't think it's going to happen in January. Jorkadic is an elite finisher, elite goal scorer. There's no doubt about that, and he'll for sure give us some goals that we are already missing. But you also got to look, his chance creation is a huge problem that we've had recently, and I don't know if how Viktor Jorkadic joining this Arsenal team fixes the chance creation issue. We've missed Odegaard hugely. Before Odegaard, you must remember, Kai Havertz was on a scoring spree, scoring against every team in the beginning of the season. We had no problems with scoring goals in the beginning of the season when Odegaard was fit, and I even made a video in the beginning of the season saying this is why we don't need a prolific striker. Now Odegaard goes, we have lack of chance creation, lack of good finishing, and now everyone is crying for a Viktor Jorkadic. Now, of course, once again, I would love Viktor Jorkadic, but I don't think a prolific striker is the be-all and end-all to this Arsenal team, and I think if Odegaard was fit this whole time, I don't think we'd be as far down on the table as we are right now. I'm pretty convinced of that. I mean, you saw it against Chelsea. Odegaard created a chance, we finished it. I don't think a prolific striker is the be-all and end-all. It would be nice, but I don't think it's a be-all and end-all, and I don't think we get Jorkadic in January even so. Now, the next and the last comment we'll do, I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. I have no idea how to pronounce that. It is kind of a two-part comment. So one is, it's not about Arsenal, but it's about football fans in general, and they are just toxic. One mistake and it gets scrutinized to death as if people don't make mistakes anyways. And I completely agree with this. I don't think anyone can disagree with this. Football fans, it seems like year in and year out, start to get less and less patience with players, with managers, with club owners, with transfers, and it seems like everyone wants instant results continuously. So I don't even think it's just football fans. I think it's football in general. One mistake and someone gets scrutinized for the rest of their career. And as far as the Arsenal hot take goes, this one's quite interesting. Arsenal are the best performing team in the league at the moment. If it wasn't for injuries to key players, they would be top of the table, tied with Liverpool, considering that they are now 4th despite playing 3 fixtures with 10 men, and while the aforementioned lack of key players due to injury, while also having the toughest fixtures in comparison to the current top 4. Now actually, there is a fair point made here. When we dropped points at the beginning of the season, we were winning all our games, but the 2 games we dropped points was City and Brighton. What happened in those games? Well, we got red cards. And then against Bournemouth, when we lost 2-0, we were horrible against Bournemouth. We didn't deserve 3 points, but we got a red card. We've had 3 games ready to open the season with 10 men, where we had to finish with 10 men, and each of those games we've dropped points in. So there is a huge amount of dropped points in just those 3 games alone. Then you look at the injury crisis we've had. No Martin Odegaard for primarily most of the season so far. The defensive line, as strong as it is, has been littered with injuries and suspensions. I mean, our injuries have really played a huge role. Now, I'm not trying to make excuses saying this is why we aren't playing well, because at the end of the day, we've had some really poor performances that no amount of injuries or suspensions can excuse. But there is something to be said here, right? We go away to Man City with 10 men and we scrape a draw. That is a really good result. We then play Liverpool with no captain in Martin Odegaard and we still get ourselves a draw, a game we could have even won. The same with Man City, we could have won. The same against Brighton, we could have won. There is definitely a fair point in this, and I wouldn't say Arsenal are the best performing team. I still think it's Liverpool, but I would say without key injuries, without suspensions, it wouldn't be crazy to assume Arsenal would at least be within a point or 2 of Liverpool. So I know it sounds like a little crazy hot take, but I actually think there's a fair point to be made there. Can we be better? Yes. And if we can be a little bit more disciplined, no red cards, and we can keep players fit, I really think, that's why I said earlier about not giving up on the league, I think we could close the gap if we can keep fit, get our form back up, and be disciplined instead of getting so many red cards. I don't think that's a mad take at all. But yeah, guys, that's the video. Let me know in the comments below, what are some hot takes you disagreed with, which are some you agreed with, and what are some of your guys' hot takes? Let me know in the comments below. Please be sure to smash the like button, subscribe if you guys haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one.